Hello, happy Friday. I just finished reconciling the accounts and so it's time to budget. My name's Jen. I am a 36-year-old mama of two. I live in southwestern Ontario with my kiddos and my husband, and we are on a mission right now to get out of the credit card float. Credit card right here. Let's go forward because we have overspending. So right now our float is $3,500. But we do have quite a bit of overspending to deal with, and so it's probably actually closer to about 2,700 of actual float. So let's take a look at our overspending and we will talk about it. Actually, before we do that, let's go back to January. We have $600 that's been overassigned, and the reason for that is we got the final payments. It came in two separate checks, $200 for me, and then a check for $400 for my kids, which was our tax. I don't know what to call it really, like a tax rebate, cost of living rebate thing. And so we had this really big brake bill for our car. We had to get our brakes done for the Mazda. And so I pulled the money from our house insurance and property tax. But as you can see, I've already put it in there and we're $600 because that came in February, but I went back to January to do it. So what I'm going to do to correct this is I'm going to pull $600 from here. I'm going to change that to 100. And then when I go to back to February, we have an extra $600 here. So I'm just going to add it to the credit card float here. So it's still the same amount like it's going to the credit card, just change the month when it's assigned so that January doesn't have that money assigned incorrectly. And then our credit card also has the money. Okay, let's deal with our overspending. First up is our RSPs. Every single week, we put $110 into my husband's retirement fund and $60 into mine. And so the pension buyback happened today. So yeah, gas we are clearly struggling with. We are well over budget. We have almost spent the entire month. We're going to be, I think, increasing our gas budget and going up to maybe $100 a week or 85, 90 something. We're going to increase that though. Because we are clearly way over budget. Groceries, we're also over budget. I did it's like $140 pantry restock though, because my husband isn't as good at keeping the pantry stocked as I am, but he does do the main groceries. And so we decided that once a month I'll restock the pantry. I have to go to the other side of town where like the cheaper grocery store is anyway. And so every Saturday I go there anyway for kids events and like kids activities. So I'm going to do like a grocery restock, like a pantry restock, because I bought $140 worth of stuff, but I price checked between No Frills, Sobeys, Walmart, Food Basics, and Zehrs. Now, Food Basics has a lot of good ones, but the Food Basics in our area doesn't allow us to do the shop online. And I, with the kids, did not want to be like going and dragging them in and having to do a shop. I really wanted somewhere that I could pick up and go. So we ended up doing a pickup order from No Frills and a pickup order from Walmart and saved over $50 on the stuff. And then it also will help bring our grocery bills down in the future. So for example, the grocery shop he did earlier this week, instead of it being the normal $150 to $250, it was only $90. So that was really awesome. Able to save us money, but it was like a bit of a big purchase. So I'm hoping that we will be able to be on track by the end of the month. I'm not as worried about this overspending. Car maintenance, we had to go in for an oil change, and there was just like a little thing that needed to be changed. I can't remember what it was. Some sort of sensor maybe. I don't know. It was a really small, it had to do with the key fob. Yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter. So we knew that this expense was coming. I had budgeted, like I had scheduled the transaction as $300 and it was $282. So it actually came in under what I had budgeted. This is the kids' soccer. We knew that was coming. And then this money movement was an oopsie from my business. For some reason, something was charged to PayPal and pulled the money out of our personal account instead of going through my business. I fixed the issue, so that shouldn't happen again. And this money will be repaid by my business before the end of the month, so that's no problem. And then this is the massage that we're still waiting on a decision about. Not really sure why it's taking so long, but here we are. Here we are. So let's go to weekly priorities and start the budget. So $300 for our tax-free savings accounts, $170 for our retirement savings, $720 for mortgage, and then this is the Mazda. I have to put $113.88. We did 3 of the 4 weeks at the very beginning of the month, and this is the 4th week. Our bills, I finally got that February bill. So if you are new here, I have 4 different utility bills that come out from this same category in YNAB. And one is equalized to $105 a month. One is $43.99 a month. Yeah, $43.99 a month. And then the other 2 are not equalized. So I just, instead of trying to figure out what it is each month or whatever, trying to figure out the budget, I just pay a monthly amount or a weekly amount every single week. For each of them, it was $35 each week was getting paid. And then back in December, we got a bill. I realized I was overpaying, so I dropped the one down to $25. And then now we've been paying for about 6 or 7 months on the other one. We are finally in a place where I feel like I can pull back. And so I reduced that one to $25 a week as well. So it was $70 a week for the utilities. It is now down to $50 a week. That'll be good until the summer. We'll reevaluate again in the summer when we find out, like re-equalize, just revisit kind of every 6 months. But I can pull actually $30 off of this budget, and that will leave us with actually no money, because that 61 cents is that bill that got increased, and I just haven't changed it in the transaction yet. So there's that. Gas, we're going to add the $75. And we'll come back to that in a second. Groceries, $3.50. Life, $125. And then let's go back to all. We still have 5 overspent. So we have our gas. Car maintenance, I'm going to take care of that right now. $282.42. And kids activities, we're going to add the $160.95. If we go look at our sinking funds, the kids' activities get $150 a month, so that's just an extra $10.95. Car maintenance gets $100 per month, so it is like more than double what it's supposed to get, but that's fine. I'm just going to leave these 2 for right now. They will be taken care of shortly. We have $252.21 left. I'm supposed to be funding these, but I really want to take care of this stuff first. So I'm going to give this the extra 75, so it's fully funded for the month. Oh, minus 20, minus 5. Okay, so now it's fully funded for the month. That leaves us with $17, which isn't even 1 tank of gas. The Corolla probably won't need another tank of gas, but the SUV will. So I want this to be at least $75. So I'm going to add $75 there. Now we have $92, which is basically an extra week of gas already. We're going to need more than that before the end of the month, but that's okay. Like I said, we're going to reevaluate our gas costs. For groceries, same here. This is $100. It won't be quite enough. I want there to be $300. So I'm going to add $200 here, which is going to drag us into the negative. And then I also want to see if I can fund at least part of these. Okay, so that leaves us at negative 222. So some of that money is going to come from here, 125. I'm going to take away the life money because we have $114 still available. And then I'm going to also, I can pull this $2.26 minus 2.26 because it our Netflix bill is increasing, but it didn't increase this month. I thought it was going to, but it didn't. Can't pull any money here. 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 Already pulled the money here. Can't pull any of these. Okay, so what that's telling me is I can't actually do, actually I could pull this $22, but I'm not going to. I can't actually do what I wanted to do there. And that's fine. Totally fine. I will have to come back and fund those later, which, yeah, absolutely, totally fine. I'm going to just split this money between the three of them. So plus 54.47 divided by 3, plus 54.47 divided by 3, and then plus 18.15. Great. So now we have $110 for gas, which is probably enough for the 2 cars to each get a tank. We have $326.90, which should be enough for groceries, and then $132.68 for our life. Fingers crossed. I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to change this. Let's change it to $100 a week for gas. Edit this target, 100 weeks, save $100 per week. So technically we should be at $300 right now. Technically, I'm going to put that money back in there, which would give us that $17, which would give us that $17.40. So maybe I just do 400 and then pull, yeah, that's what I'll do, 684. So gas is fully funded until the end of the month. We are going to go over that target. I already know because we're at 282, and we're going to need at least that $117 plus a little bit more. I'm hoping not too much more, but we'll see. And then we can reevaluate. We can always reevaluate, right? That is what this is all about, is reevaluating. The other thing that I wanted to do is look at our tax-free savings account. So let's pause and go there. Okay, we are here. So currently we're working on filling these 3 goals. We have our emergency fund, 6 months at $5,000 per month, $30,000, that's funded. Home maintenance, our goal is to get to $10,000. We're about halfway there. And then frontline expenses, $2,500. So we got 2 cents of interest on the frontline expenses. And then we also added $300 into each of these accounts. So we're going to do $300.02 here, and then the other $300 there. So we are almost there, $166.78 more to go for the frontline expenses until we're at $2,500. And only $159.75 more required this month for home maintenance. Our goal is to get that $10,000 by December. I'm fairly confident that we will get there. So each week we have $75 that goes into a short-term savings account and a long-term savings account. So right now that short-term savings account is our frontline expenses in case any bills go over, if there's a large car repair that we need to do, if our furnace broke down, anything that we can't roll with month to month comes from the frontline expenses. I guess our furnace would probably come out of home maintenance. And then when I first explained this budget, I really feel like this $30,000 emergency fund is overkill for us because of our current situation, but it is still nice to have it in here in case something were to happen. Like that furnace would be probably like $15,000. We only have 5 in the home maintenance, so we would obviously be pulling from that 30,000. But it is nice to have it, and I also really like having this separate budget so that I don't see it as part of my main budget. Because I'm not tempted to spend it. This is not money that's accessible to me immediately. I do have to go through a bit of a process to get it. The frontline expense money is sometimes there by the end of the day. Usually it's the next day. And then there's emergency fund is anywhere from a day to 3 days, which is accessible enough for me. I know some people like it more accessible, but anyway. If you want a budget for your tax-free savings accounts or your emergency fund, but you don't want it to be part of your main budget, highly recommend creating a separate budget in YNAB. It works really well for me. So anyway, I hope that you found this very helpful and have a wonderful week.